told you, wouldn't it be lovely if when someone is in that fantastic state of mind, you can save it, and then you can restore it on demand. Today we're going to learn how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to request you to think of something that makes you very, very wonderful inside. That's right, just double it. And just stay there a little longer. And double it again. Feel it? Feel it? Is it very intense? How? And what happens if you double it again?
I'm driving 2 cars.
Okay, can you just do it one more time? Think of the same emotion again. Very intense. Very nice. Okay, so what is your favorite, coffee or tea?
Anything.
So it could be coffee or tea.
What a man has never had me tongue-tied so easily.
Thank you very much. You did very well.
Thank you.
Now this is called anchoring. And you can do this with a touch, you can do this with voice, you can do this with words, and you can do this with gestures. Now you're going to learn to do this very well. And I want you to start by having an experience of it first. So what I want you to do is I want you to pair up, and I want you to do exactly what we did with each other. Okay? I want you to hold your partner's hand and ask them to think about something fantastic, something intense. And as you're getting into it, okay, so you're always anchoring a direction. So you, as you're going into it, you anchor. Okay? So you're not touching them, you're just ready to touch, but when you're going into it, you anchor, and then you lift your finger again, and then you distract them. Ask them something, some question, and when their mind is thinking about it, sneakily press the anchor again. And as you press, I want you to find out what instantaneously happens to that person. Do the original emotions come back? Okay, so there's just one thing you have to remember. You see, the anchors have to be very precise. So let's say I'm anchoring like this. Then I cannot fire here or here. I have to fire exactly here. Like let's say you see this curve over here, and let's say I'm anchoring there. Then I can't fire here or I can't fire there. I have to fire exactly here. If you do it that way, anchoring works. There's just 2 things to remember. One, it has to be, when it is in the upward direction, the emotion is building up. And 2, you're firing the anchor in the exact same spot. Now, what if you can do this not just with touch? What if you can do this with voice, with gestures? Isn't that even more powerful? And our anchors work like that. Now, see, first of all, a lot of you have this misconception that you don't touch people in corporate settings. That's not true. You always touch people. You know, if you actually go back and pay attention to all the kinds of touch that people do with each other, if anchors work only with touch, it still is a very powerful tool. In fact, I remember this. There was this investor I knew who was. He called me for dinner, and we went there, and I was watching him. And he's this kind of a person. He's a venture capitalist from Singapore. And he would invest in startups, but what he would do is he would get like 50% of the company, 48, 49%. Whereas other investors would, for that amount, they would get 10%. Yeah, he was very good at getting people to take little money, like a crore or two from him, and give a huge part of the company. And so I went a little early and I was watching him in action. And he was talking to the CEO and he said, well, you know, the thing about investment is, well, you have a great plan. And the CEO goes, yes. And your product is going to do well. And the CEO goes, yes. And he continues to say, and sometimes you want to open it up to the international market. You want to grow, you want to be big, and at that time you want your investor to bring you those connections, those resources, to open up that market for you so that everything happens. You know that magic touch? He leans forward, touches him like this. Now, that CEO, imagine what he must have been going through in his head. He must have been seeing pictures of international markets and everything opening up, and then it's like anchored to this touch. Then they're having a lot of conversation, and then blah, 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 blah. And just before the CEO left, he said, so I look forward to see you again, or something like that. The CEO said, I look forward to see you again. And the investor said, he said, yeah, go work on that deal carefully. Okay, so what he had done is he got him to associate that deal with those feelings. So obviously the CEO would have gone in and worked it in great feelings and then put forward the presentation. And our investor man would have asked, give me 40%. And the CEO on one side would be like, that's too high. And the other side is that magic touch. Which one do you think will win? The one that is most intense. And I think he did a good job, and the magic touch was intense. So it's not true that you can't use touch in corporate settings. Okay, I've seen people do it, and it works equally powerful. So I want you to master it in all modalities: touch, sound, and this thing. See, the touch thing comes in play in a lot of other situations too. So there's this woman who's crying, and then she looks at you, and you're making her angry, and she's crying more, and then, or for some reason, she's crying more. So she's in the process of increasing that sorrow. You go and you give her a hug, and you say it's okay. The next time you go to her and you give her a casual hug, and for no reason she hates you. A minor variation. The woman is crying, it's increasing, but in the next 2-3 seconds, you know how people weep when they cry? There's this just this peak, and then there's this comfort. And just when that peak is reached and it's coming down, they're already getting comforted. You give a hug and you say, it's all right. The next time you hug the lady, they feel that comfort with you. You understand the difference? The difference is in just a couple of seconds. But it's knowing that anchors work this way. So when you recognize that, you know when to hug, when not to hug. This is true about people who are coughing. You know, when they're coughing, if it's increasing, you don't want to do that patting, because the next time you touch them there, the cough is going to increase. I noticed that. It works like that. You know, what you want to do is, when the emotion is coming down, then you want to continue with it. That way you've set up an anchor and you can use it.